Hi, this is Susan Young, author of 7 Steps to Pursue Your Passion. In this video, I'm going to go over a case study of one of the doctors that I interviewed to write my book. Now, Dr. Weber is a facial plastic surgeon, but his journey is very interesting as it took him until his 3rd year in medical school before he really figured out what he wanted to do. I'm going to go over with you his journey so that you can learn from him all the clues that he had, but he didn't have a system to help him put it together. So one thing that Dr. Weber says is, I think it's a very long journey. In medical school, there isn't a lot of structure to help people understand their strengths and which discipline they would excel in. Basically, he was on his own, and his journey began back in high school. He said he volunteered in a vet's office where he saw some surgeries, and he also worked in the veterinarian's office. He enjoyed it, and he just assumed he would become a vet. He looked at colleges and he decided on one, and he majored in veterinary science. Something he said to me was very interesting. He said pretty quickly he realized that this wasn't the right profession for him. And he said when he was working with large animals, it really didn't have much of an appeal to him. Though he loved the science part of it, he didn't love the application part. And this was a clue. He said, I wanted to be around people and socialize with others and get to know their stories. The human aspect and the idea of building relationships with patients was important to him, but he didn't know that when he initially went to school. And that set him back a bit because now he had to change majors. And he said he really was interested in relationships with people, not animals. He realized that his clue was that he should be going into medicine versus veterinary medicine. And I said he enjoyed the work in the veterinary field, but it lacked the relationship potential. I ask you, one of the clues in my system is, who are the people you enjoy being around? Nobody really asks us that question, but that's a major step in my system. That it's really important because every profession you will be around certain people. Now, while he was in medical school, that was 8 years between undergraduate and medical school, and there he said he experienced many things. And he was trying to figure out what worked for him. But again, he said there was no structure to figure out what part of medicine would suit his unique skills. So when he was in medical school, he originally thought his first choice was to be a hematologist-oncologist and treat cancer patients. And at the time, he had no inkling or interest in surgery. And what he said was it wasn't until his 3rd year in medical school, when most people know exactly what they're going to major in, he was finally exposed to surgery, and surgery of the head and neck. And he said he was hooked immediately from the first surgery he saw. And then from there, he went into different aspects of head and neck. But when he found facial plastic surgery, he thought that was the most suitable because he said it really got him fired up in the morning and he felt energized by it. Again, he was saying, I felt it in my body. I actually was energized more by this specific thing. That's another clue that we look for. How do you feel about a profession? Is it something that really energizes you? Because that is an important clue. But now we go deeper to find out why. Why was it that it energized him? Again, it was clues that he had never really thought about. I asked him, did you realize that you had a skill in your hands? And he said, I don't think so. I never really put the two things together. Until I was in the operating room, I never associated dexterity with my hands and wanting to be a surgeon. And he explained, my dad always taught me to work on cars, motorcycles, and carpentry. And he said he primed me to be a surgeon. And he also said, I wasn't aware of it until I was in the operating room and started suturing, doing surgery, that I made the connection between my ability to work with my hands doing other things and my ability to use my love for medicine as a surgeon. And then I asked him, well, why head and neck surgery? And he said, from a human perspective, the relationship building standpoint, We take care of a lot of patients with cancer. He said it tests your ability and helps you develop a rapport with people quickly. His contribution was he could really influence the quality of people's lives. When he looked at working with cancer patients, he also was working with them as a facial plastic surgeon. Sometimes he works with people that have head cancer doing reconstructive surgery. And it's this ability to really be empathetic to people at a time when they need someone most that really he finds fulfilling. And being able to influence the quality of someone's life by affecting how they look by his surgery is something that's very appealing to him. For him, the satisfaction comes from knowing that he can have a positive impact on people's lives. That's another clue. When someone does surgery to your face, it's very visual, and you get that instant gratification when you see the results of your work, and your patients could look at it and see what you have done that really affects their life. That was another clue for him on what made it rewarding. And I asked him, what was it about head and neck surgery that fascinated you? And he went on to say, it's about as complicated as you can get. He said there's very interwoven layers of muscle and nerve and blood vessels. And he said for him, he likes a challenge, and he liked the idea that he's doing delicate surgery. For him, it's very satisfying. Another part of his personality is he liked a challenge. This is just part of his story. But do you see how we connect the clues? It wasn't a matter of going into medicine. It wasn't even a matter of going into surgery. It was what area of medicine, what area of surgery, who are the people you want to be around, what type of satisfaction do you get from it, what kind of conditions are the people in when you see them. And another thing I learned about Dr. Weber is that his practice is very diverse. He does reconstructive surgery as well as cosmetic surgery. And he said being able to have the balance between the two keeps him energized. And he also does humanitarian work in Africa and Latin America. And he says that's also satisfying because those people don't have a lot of options. And he says being able to help people out that would have no options is very satisfying. Again, when we look at what he needs in a profession, he needs diversity. He needs diversity and he needs humanitarian work. Now, you see how we connect the clues? It's not a matter of just saying what are you passionate about or what do you enjoy or what are you good at. You see, there are all these different aspects that you need to connect to see how you're going to apply information in a way that's satisfying to you in many ways. And that comes from understanding your abilities, your personality, the people you want to be around, the lifestyle you want to create, as well as the activities that you enjoy doing. I hope this helps you understand that it really is a process to be able to figure out the type of profession you want and understanding how you're going to apply information in a way that's satisfying to you.